Hi, everyone. Jim Lorenzen here, and today we're going to be talking about 6 retirement options every retiree must know. Now, there's 6 available to you, and we're doing videos on each one of them. Today's video is going to be about number 3, rolling over your plan assets to an IRA. Let's get started. This is the preferred option for many people when they leave their employer for a number of reasons. They can roll their money into an existing IRA, or they can get a new IRA for the rollover. Most common reason people do this is because they want to broaden their choices of investment options available to them. A lot of company plans are more restrictive. They don't offer as many options as they'd like. Inside an IRA, they can shop in all the malls of all the stores, and or they can go on all the onlines. Everything's available. The whole investment universe is available, except only 3 things are not, according to the IRS and Congress's. They're on your side. They want to help you. So you can invest in anything except life insurance, collectibles, and S Corp stock. Other than that, you can invest in just about anything in an IRA, so you have the universe available to you. But there's another reason people want to invest in IRAs and roll their money into an IRA from a company plan, and that is to consolidate. Now, there is a reason for this. A study released by the Department of Labor reported that baby boomers who were born between 1957 and 1964, believe it or not, held an average of 11.3 jobs between ages 18 and 46. Now, you probably don't have 11 different employer plans in your background. A lot of people have 2 or 3 running around. They've just never gotten around to transfer, never did it. So one big reason is to consolidate. They want to have either fewer pieces of paper or fewer websites to check, fewer places to go log into. It's nice to have a consolidation point. And some people think that if they have 3 IRAs, they're diversifying. Not true. You got to change the way you think if you think that, because guess what? An IRA is nothing but a drawer. Look at your drawer in your desk. You can put investments into 1 drawer, or you can put them into 3 drawers. Splitting them to 3 drawers doesn't make you any more diversified. 1 drawer that's tax deferred is all you need, and you can put your investments in there, and it's your investments you diversify with, not by having a lot of drawers. So it's a convenient collection point, fewer pieces of paper, fewer websites, fewer things to go check. All right. Another more attractive reason, though, are the withdrawal options. Because in an IRA, you can withdraw almost anytime you want to, really. And if you're under 59 and a half, you might have an IRS penalty. But the fact is, you can withdraw, you can make a distribution request anytime you want from an IRA. In a company plan, you are stuck with whatever the company's plan's rules are, and they vary from company to company. And believe it or not, company rules can be far more restrictive, and often are more restrictive than the IRS. Hard to believe, but it's true. Now, another big difference, and this goes to do with withdrawal rules, company plans have a mandatory 20% withholding on all IRA distributions. IRAs do not have that. So company plans are mandated. If you want to withdraw money from the company plan, there's 20% withholding whether you want it or not. IRA, not true. You can withhold 10%, you can withhold 20%, you can withhold whatever you want or none at all. It's up to you with an IRA. So as you can see, there's more control. Now, another thing to consider is the fact that at some point, and for many people it's age 73, but at some point you're going to have to take required minimum distributions. Congress is going to, or IRS is going to require that you take distributions from your accounts. Well, employer plans are different from IRAs. Here's John and Jane. They did their calculations, and the calculations are the same as to how much R&D you have to take. For example, an RMD's here for John. He's got 3 IRAs, and he did his RMD calculations, and you have to do them on each one individually. And you can see John's added up to a total of $10,000. Jane has 3 identical 401ks. She calculates them individually, and her total comes up to $10,000. But John can take his $10,000 from all three or just one of the IRAs if he wants to. He can pick the IRA he wants to take that $10,000 from. Not so with Jane. Jane is going to have to take $5,000 from the number one, $3,000 from number two, $2,000 from number three, whether she wants to or not. She has no choice. She cannot aggregate. So that's another reason. Okay. There are also estate planning benefits that are worth checking into. You can make it easier for beneficiaries after you're gone by consolidating accounts. But also in another way, it might make it easier to have multiple IRAs because each IRA can have its own beneficiary. You can have one for each of your children. You can have one for a charity. You can whatever. But you can have your distributions isolated by IRA, and you can do it that way. Now, some employer plans will not accept certain beneficiaries, like trusts, for example. And they may not allow you to use customized beneficiary forms or allow your beneficiaries to utilize certain strategies like disclaimer planning. There are some beneficiaries. You might have one son or daughter who is extremely well off financially and another one who isn't. And the son or daughter is willing to forego their share of the inheritance in favor of the one who needs the money the most. Well, you can't do that in company plans. So disclaimer planning is not allowed in a lot of company plans. You have to check your plan rules. Also, rolling your plan funds into an IRA that has the right the right construction can help take care of these issues. So the final point down there at the bottom, preserving the stretch for eligible designated beneficiaries. I'm not going to get into that in this video as to what an eligible designated beneficiary is, but basically you can preserve the stretch IRA for eligible designated beneficiaries, and that's something that plan rules may not allow and often don't. Okay, here are the review of the benefits. More investment options, more flexibility, RMD simplification that allows you to aggregate between multiple IRAs, and you can have greater control over estate planning. In other words, control is really the bottom line. So if you want control, the IRA may help. However, it's not perfect for everybody. There are some limitations and risks on this issue, using this option of rolling into an IRA, and you can see some of them. They're right here on this slide. So that's worth considering. Now, if you decide, okay, we want to roll, we want to put the money into an IRA, we want to do a rollover, how are we going to do it? There are two ways. One's called an indirect rollover, also known as the 60-day rollover, because there's a time frame. It has to be done within 60 days, or it's a distribution and it's fully taxable, and the IRS isn't very nice about the 61st day. Number two, you can do a direct rollover right out of your old company retirement plan directly into your new retirement account. That's called a direct rollover. Now, generally, the direct rollover, in fact, I won't say generally, I'll go out on a limb here and say always, the direct rollover is always better. And I'll tell you why. Let's start with the indirect rollover and why you don't want to do it. Let's say you receive here's an indirect rollover. You get a distribution that's payable to you. Either that or it's sent into a non-retirement account, say your bank account, directly into your savings account at your bank. And you fully intend within 60 days to roll it into your IRA and meet the 60-day requirement window and avoid a penalty. So you do that. Well, Congress created a problem. There's a 20% mandatory withholding. 20% mandatory withholding. Guess what that means? Let's suppose you have a $100,000 IRA and the check's made out to you, or it goes into your savings account at your bank or something like that. Your company plan is going to withhold $20,000 of your $100,000. You'll get the check, or they'll send to your bank or whatever, $80,000. Now, let's suppose that you meet the $60 deadline or $60 day deadline. Let's suppose you meet it and you move the money, 80,000, you put it in your IRA and you did it on time. Did you complete a rollover? The answer is no. Guess what? You have to make up that $20,000 withholding. That's right. The $20,000 withholding your employer took out, you have to make it up. And it has to come from other assets of yours. And that has to be deposited. So your IRA is now $100,000 in order to complete that rollover. Not good. Well, let's suppose now that your IRA is 500,000, or excuse me, your retirement plan at work is 500,000, and that's the amount you want to roll. Now, if you got $500,000 and the check's made out to you or it goes to your savings account, they withhold 20%, $100,000. The plan sponsor has to do that. It's law. So as $100,000 is withheld, $400,000 hits your bank. You have to put that $400,000 inside the 60-day window into your IRA. But you haven't completed the rollover yet because you have to make up that $100,000 withholding. That's right. You have to come up with $100,000, and it has to come from some other account of yours within 60 days to complete that rollover. That can be a pretty awesome situation. And the larger your IRA gets, the more disgusting it means. So one of the great things about a direct rollover is it goes straight from your plan into your retirement account. You don't want to do indirect. You want to do direct. It goes straight from the retirement plan to the retirement account, tax-deferred account to tax-deferred account. There's no 60-day rule. There's no mandatory withholding. It's a direct transfer into your account. Now, there are some employers, believe it or not, who won't do that. They want to send a check. Okay, here's how you do that. The check is not made payable to you. If it is, don't cash it. Send it back because you can't take distribution. You don't want to take possession of those funds. You instruct your custodian that it's got to be made out to the company, Company X. Maybe it's the name of your mutual fund or the new custodian that you're dealing with. If you're dealing with a financial advisor, it's made out to the custodian, FBO, for the benefit of your name, IRA. Now the check's not made out to you. They can send it to you and you can deposit it. But you never had possession of the funds because it's not made out to you. It's made out to the custodian for the benefit of your IRA. And by the way, down there in the memo where it says direct rollover, I would put in your new IRA account number. Put in your account number on that blank down there. Okay, that's how you get around it. We've talked about number 3 today, rolling over plan assets into an IRA. That's usually the preferred option for most people. Believe it or not, there's some people that just want to take a lump sum distribution, cash out, give me the money, I'm going to take it and run. Well, that may or may not be a very good idea, but there are some cases where it actually could make a little bit of sense. And we'll be talking about that when we do option number 4. If you'd like some help, let me know. I'm here to help. I'm not a CPA and I am not an attorney, but I am a certified financial planner. I'm an accredited investment fiduciary. I'm a registered investment advisor. I'm independent, have been in private practice for over 30 years, and retirement is all I do. So I've also done a lot of other things, as you can see on the slide there, that help bring some more perspective to the table, I guess. At any rate, that's me at the desk there. Over on the right side, you can see the website. That's where you go. That's the protocol. To get started, go to the website. There's a Getting Started page at indfin.com. Go to the Getting Started page. It's like going to the doctor. You have to fill out the forms before your first appointment so the doctor knows a little bit about your medical history. And it's the same thing here. Basically, there's a protocol for getting started, and that's the way we begin. And if I can be of help to you, feel free to call on me. And that Getting Started page is how you do it. Thanks for your time. And we'll see you on the next video.